Namaskara. Sarvebhyaha suswagatam. Welcome all of you to this third class on Hayagriva Upasmahe, where we learn the meaning of the Hayagriva Stotram of Swami Vedanta Deshika. Just share the screen and we will get started. The screen is visible. Get started. Start with Acharya Vandanam. Lakshmi Natha Samarambham Nathayamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Srivatsaveera Ragvisha Kripalabdhatma Jeevanam Atreya Gotrajam Vande Gurum Gopala Deshikam Shriman Venkatanatharya Kavitarkika Kesari Vedantacharya Varyo Me Sannidhattam Sada Hridi Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalasphatiकाकृतिम् Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe. So we started with the first Vedanta Deshika Vandanam Shloka in the very first class, and we also looked at the first two shlokas. The third shloka, we had looked at the Padavibhaga and the Anvaya, and we said we will look at the deeper meaning today. So we'll start from the third shloka. Samaharassamnam pratipadam richam dhamayajusham layaf pratyuhanam laharivitatirboda jaladhehe katha darpak shubhyat kathaka kulakolahalaabhavam haratvantardhvantam hayavadana halahalaha. So the words we have here are Samaharaha, Samna, Pratipadam, Tricham, Dhama, Yajusham, Layaha, Pratyuhana, Lahari Vitatihi, Bodha Jaladhehe, Katha Darpak Shubhyat Kathakakula Kola Halabhavam, Haratu, Antardhvantam, Hayavadana Hesha Halahalaha. So the Anvaya goes like this. Samnam Samaharaha, Richam Pratipadam, Yajusham Dhama, Pratyuhana, Bodha Jaladehe Lahari Vitatihi, Hayavadana Hesha Halahalaha, Kata Darpak Shubhyat Kathakakula Kola Halabhavam Antardhvantam Haratu. This is the Anvaya. Let's look at the word by word meaning before we go into the deeper meaning and the Bhavat. Samnam Samaharaha. Samnam of the Samaveda. Samaharaha, it is the summary of the Samaveda. Richam Pratipadam of the Rig Veda, it is a Pratipadam, synonym of every word. Yajusham of the Yajur Veda, it is a Dhama. Dhama refers to the abode or glory. It is the placeholder for the Yajur Veda. Pratyuhanam Layaha. Pratyuha refers to obstacles or any Vigna, as we call it. So for all obstacles, Layaha, it is the destroyer of all obstacles, dissolution of all obstacles. Bodha Jaladhehe Lahari Vitatihi. Bodha is Jnana, Jaladhi is ocean, so it's an ocean of knowledge. So you can look at it as Jnana Sagara, of Jnana Sagara. Lahari Vitatihi. Lahari is wave, Vitati is collection or spread, or you can look at it as an unending flow of waves. Hayavadana Hesha Halahalaha. Hayavadana of Hayagriva Bhagavan, Hesha, his neighing sound. What does it what does it sound like? It sounds like halahala. So that sound is like halahala sound of the horse. So this Hayavadana Hesha halahalaha, right? This Hayagriva Bhagavan's halahala sound, which is the summary of the Samaveda, synonym of every word of the Rig Veda, is the abode of the Yajur Veda, and it removes all obstacles, remover of all obstacles. It is a collection of waves, so the unending flow of waves of the ocean of knowledge. This Hayavadana Hesha Halahalaha, what do we want it to do? We want it to remove the inner darkness or ajnana. Haratu Antardhvantam, the inner darkness, let it remove. So why does this inner darkness happen? Where does it come from? It comes from Kata Darpat Shubhyat Kathakakula Kolahala Bhavam. So Katha and Kathaka. Let us start with these two words. Katha is argument. Kathaka is one who is doing those arguments. That is the logicians. So Kathaka Kula, we have not just a single logician, but a group of logicians. So Kathaka Kula, and what are they doing? They are doing Katha. They are arguing. So this, by doing this argument, what happens is they get Darpa. Darpa is arrogance. Okay? They become haughty by doing these arguments. And that Shubhyat, that causes them to be agitated. So this agitated group of logicians, what they are doing is a kolahala. Kolahala. So kolahala, what is produced by them is kolahala, that is a loud and confused noise, a lot of din that is created by them. And this kolahala, this sound, bhava, it gives rise to this antardhvanam, dvantam, or the inner darkness. So dvantaha is darkness. So antardhvantaha, so the inner darkness. So what is this inner darkness? Because of all this argument that's going on and different people putting up their views, there's so much of creation, so much of confusion created that we really don't know what is right, what is the satya, right? So we have this, jnana is not there, ajnana is created. So this ajnana has to be removed by the halahala shabda of Swami, of Bhagavan Hayagriva. This is our prayer in this verse. So the bhavartha as such is like this. So let the halahala sound of horse-faced Bhagavan Hayagriva remove the inner darkness that is caused by the confusing arguments of logicians who are haughty and caught up with their own points of view, right? So because each one wants to put across their point of view, so obviously they're only fighting for that, right? So they are all caught up in their own points of view. So this Bhagavan can do this is possible because the halahala sound is the summary of the Samaveda, it's the meaning of every word of the Rig Veda, and the placeholder of the Yajur Veda. So it is Veda, it gives us the essence of all the Vedas, right? And it can cause all types of obstacles to disappear as it just absorbs them. It is the unending sequence of waves of the ocean of knowledge. So this knowledge ocean can obviously destroy all the confusions that are caused by the arguments of logicians. That is our overall meaning. Now let's look at some of the interesting inner things that are coded in this particular shloka. So first of all, in the previous shloka, we had said we had said that the Vedas, right? So the anantaihi trayantaihi anuvihita hesha halahala. That was the word we have used over there. Anantaihi trayantaihi, by the limitless Vedas, anuvihita hesha halahala. So this hesha halahala is resounding, right? Is the Vedas resounding the hesha halahala. So the halahala sound we said is whatever is coming out of Hayagriva is basically the Vedas. Okay? So here there is an expansion of that particular concept. So we can also see the link to the previous shloka and how it is being expanded. Okay. So we have said that it is in the form of the Samaveda mantras. So so these 9 sounds, right? The halahala shabda, it is in the form of Samaveda mantras. So it's a summary of the Samaveda mantras. And it is gives us the Pratipadam Richam. So it gives us the details of Rig Veda and it's the house of the Yajur Veda. Now, when we say Yajur Veda, we are also including Atharva Veda in that. So typically that is how it is interpreted. Okay. So, so the sounds that are produced by Hayagriva, by the horse-faced Hayagriva, are essentially these 3 Vedas, okay, or the 4 Vedas. Now, what is interesting note here is Rig Veda deals with jnana. It's Rig Veda is supposed to deal with jnana. Similarly, Samaveda deals with upasana. And Yajur Veda deals with kriya. Kriya meaning performance of Vedic rites and so on. So which is why Swami Deshika says here that he characterizes the summary of the Sama, every word of Rig, and it's the abode of Yajur Veda. Now it is interesting to note that he's starting with Samaveda. Okay. He starts with Samahara Samna. So normally when we say what are the 3 Vedas, we always say Rig, Yajur, Sama. Okay, but here we see that the order he has given is Sama, Rig, and then he talks about Yajur. So it may be interesting to note here that when in Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavan says, he says, Vedanam Samavedosmi. So he starts, so he is important, right? So Samaveda has this importance. So probably that is one reason why we have starting, he started the Samaveda. So that being the case, right? So since he is, his everything that's coming out of his mouth are the Vedas basically. So any confusion that is caused by Avaidika doctrines, that is, those doctrines which do not follow the Vedas, which are not based on the Vedas, those can be very easily removed. All the doubts can be removed by this halahalasam. Because this is basically the Vedas. It gives us the essence of the Vedas. So any kudrishti schools of thought, so where kudrishti basically meaning which gives you a wrong interpretation. So those kind of schools of thought, any confusion which arises out of that can be removed by this, because it is Vedas that are coming out of his mouth. So his lahari vitatihi bodha jaladehi, right? So layaha pratyuhanam and lahari vitatihi bodha jaladehi. So because the Vedas are coming out of his mouth, it can remove all obstacles, right? Pratyuhanam layaha, all the obstacles are removed. So he does what we call as anishta nivritti. So Bhagavan always helps us in two ways, right? One is he removes our obstacles, he removes whatever is not good for us, and he gives us whatever is good for us. So he removes the bad and gives us the good. So laya pratyuhana is removal of all our obstacles. And lahari vitatihi bodha jaladehe, he is the one, he is the ocean of knowledge, and this halahala sound is the are the waves, are the unending waves that are coming out of this ocean of knowledge. So by giving us this knowledge, he's giving us ishta prapti, because what are we seeking here? We are seeking knowledge from Bhagavan. So by giving us what we need, he is doing ishta prapti, and he is doing anishta nivritti. Right? So that is what is conveyed by these two terms. Laya pratyuhanam and lahari vitatihi bodha jaladehe. Now this lahari vitatihi, there is another interesting, the vitati, you can look at vitati has a number of, a few different meanings that we look at. So vitati also looks at expansion. So you can look at it as the waves expand, right? So, or you can look at it as the knowledge is expanding. So it starts with an awakening, and from that awakening, it goes to deeper and subtler understanding. That kind of knowledge is what Bhagavan can give us. So that is also indicated by this lahari vitatihi bodha jaladehe. Harat antardhvantam hayavadana hesha halahalaha. So this halahala sound, right? There was another question, in fact, that was asked, what does this halahala indicate? So hal plus ahal, that is also another interesting interpretation that is given to this halahala sound. So hal in Sanskritam refers to consonants, and ahal basically would mean that which is not a consonant, which means it refers to vowels. So if you say hal and ahal, so it is combination of hal and ahal, you're talking about vowels and consonants. So what is coming out with the help of vowels and consonant? It is vak, speech. So you can say Hayavadana Hesha Halahala, the speech of Hayavadana, the speech itself, right? So that also is nothing but the Vedas, and it can help us in these ways. So that's also another interpretation that we can understand from this. Okay, so this kind of, and let this remove the antardvantam, inner darkness. So it's an inner darkness because it is happening inside us, in our minds. And the dvanta, this darkness is caused only by all this unnecessary arguments, or you can't really say unnecessary, but all these arguments that are happening by people of various faiths. People who believe in Vedas, who do not believe in Vedas, everybody putting forth their own views. So we are trying to understand the essence of the Vedas, and based on that, understand and get the actual required knowledge. That is, so the prayer here is remove all the obstacles so that I may get knowledge properly. So that is the essence of this particular shloka. Samahara samna pratipadam richam dhama yajusham layaf pratyuhanam lahari vitatir bodha jaladehe kata darpa kshubhyat kathakakula kolahala bhavam haratwantardhvantam hayavadana hesha halahalaha. Right. So this is the meaning of the third shloka. We will now go to the fourth shloka. There are a couple of questions on Katha, Darpa, Shubhyat, and what is Darpa. Okay. Darpa basically is Garva. Okay, haughtiness, arrogance. That is Darpa. Okay. And Katha, Darpa, Shubhyat. Let me just go back and explain that again once more. So there is a question on that. Okay. So Katha, Darpak, Shubhyat, Kataka, Kula, Kola, Halabhavam. So Kathaka, okay, let's start with Katha and Kathaka. Katha is logic or argument. Kathaka is logician, one who is doing Katha, one who is arguing, logician. So Kathaka, Kula. So we have this group of logicians. Okay. And we have Katha. They are doing arguments. So by doing those arguments, from the arguments, it is causing them to become haughty. Darpa, it is giving them garva, right? They are becoming very arrogant. So Katha, Darpa. Because of their arguments, they are becoming very haughty. And Shubhyat, that causes an agitation in them. Because of that haughtiness, right? They are becoming caught up, in their own views. So what do? Because they are agitated, this entire Kathaka Kula does a kolahala. So kolahala is just shouting about here and there, just raising their voice to make their points heard. So they're creating a lot of noise. So much of noise that is created. So because of this noise, nothing is clear, right? Everything is confused. We are getting deluded in our knowledge. So that is leading to this inner darkness. So that we pray to Bhagavan that it should be written. I hope it is clear. What is bhavam here? Bhavam is that which is created by that. Kolahalena bhavam. It is created because of that kolahala. What is created? The antardvanta. That inner darkness is created by this kolahala. So that is what we are looking at over here. So I will answer some of these questions at the end, so that we are able to make a little progress on this. Okay. So we go to the next shloka. Prachi sandhya kachidantarnishayaha prajna drishte ranjana shrira purva vaktrin veda bhatume vajivatra vagishakhya vasudevasya murtihi. Let me repeat that once more. Prachi sandhya kachidantarnishayaha prajna drishte ranjana shrira purva vaktrin vedan bhatume vajivaktra vagishakhya vasudevasya murtihi. So look at the pada vibhaga for the shloka. Prachi sandhya kachit antar nishayaha. Kachid antar is basically kachit plus antar nishayaha. Prajna drishtehe anjana shrihi apurva vaktri vedan tu me vaji vaktra vagishakhya vasudevasya murtihi. This is the padavibha. So we can see that sandhi is there in kachit plus antarnishayaha. Kachid antarnishayaha has become kachit plus antarnishayaha. Prajna drishte anjana shri. So that is prajna drishte plus anjana shrihi. Anjana shri apurva. Anjana shrihi plus apurva. Anjana shri apurva. So all the other words are there as such. Let us look at the Anvaya. So the Anvaya goes like this. Antarnishayaha kachit prachi sandhya prajna drishte apurva anjana shrihi vedan vaktri vagishakhya vajivaktra vasudevasya murtihi me bhatu. So the verb that we have is bhatu. Let it shine forth. Let it shine in my heart. Okay. Me, to me. Let it bhatu. Let it shine forth. So what should shine forth? Vagishakhya vajivaktra vasudevasya murtihi. Basically, Hayagriva Bhagavan, who is Vasudevasya Murti. That form of Vasudeva should shine forth for me. And the three other phrases we have there are adjectives to that. Antarnishayaha kachit prachi sandhya Pragyadrishtehe apurva anjanashrihi vedan vaktri that Vasudevasya Murtihi. Vagishakya Vajivaktra Vasudevasya Murtihi me bhatu. Let that shine in front of me. This is what we are asking. Let's look at the word by word meaning. Antarnishayaha. Antaha nishayaha. Of the inner darkness. Nisha again is darkness. Antardhvanta we had there. Here uses antarnishayaha. Of the inner darkness. Kachit. A certain. In a sense, you can say it's an indescribable something, right? Kachit prachi sandhya. Prachi sandhya. Sandhya is sandhya kala. So sandhya kala refers to, you can have a morning sandhya and an evening sandhya, right? There's a sandhya kala is all, sandhya always means sandhi, joining of the day and night, night and day or day and night. So we refer to two sandhis, morning sandhya and evening sandhya. So morning sandhya is called as the prachi sandhya because it, that is when the sun rises in the east. So it's a prachi sandhya. So you can look at it as dawn. Prachi sandhya refers to dawn. So this phrase, Antarnishayaha Kachit Prachi Sandhya, if you look at the meaning of this phrase, it says it is a certain dawn of the inner darkness. That is, just as in dawn, there is light that comes forth. So similarly, for this inner dark and removes the darkness of the night. So similarly, Hayagriva Murti is a dawn. It removes the inner darkness. It's a certain indescribable inner darkness. We will look at the meaning of this Kachit Pada shortly. So that's the first phrase. Antarnishayaha Kachit Prachi Sandhya. First phrase. Second phrase. Pragyadrishtehe Apurva Anjanashri. This is what we are looking at. Pragyadrishtehe. Prajna is jnana, knowledge. Drishti, sight, eye. Okay, so you can look at it as the eye of intellect. Okay? So for the eye of intellect, or of the eye of intellect, it is certain apurva. Apurva basically means something which is very novel, which is not been there earlier, something very different, very new. Apurva Anjanashri. So Anjanashri, Anjana refers to collyrium, what we refer to as kajal in Hindi, or we can say mai in Tamil, we say that. So it is Anjana. So Anjana refers to what we wear for our eyes, right? So this collyrium, right? Anjana Shri, it's a wealth of collyrium. So it's very special collyrium. So just as Anjana, the kajal or the Anjana is supposed to make our eyesight better, supposed to make unknown things also known to you. So like that, this Anjana Shri, this Bhagavan Hayagriva's Murti is a collyrium for the eye of intellect, for prajna jnana, for prajna, for that drishti, for that eye, it becomes a Anjana Shri. So that is a very beautiful description that we have here. Okay. That is the second phrase. Pragyadrishtehe apurva Anjana Shri. Third, Vedan Vaktri. Vakta or Vaktri. So Vakta is the one who says it. Okay. Vaktri is the feminine form. So Vaktri, Vedan Vaktri. So that which describes the Vedas, or that which is the orator of the Vedas. One who is the orator of the Vedas. One who is saying the Vedas. So as we saw, his Halahala Shabdam are the Vedas themselves. So he is the one who is saying the Vedas. Or you can also look at it as he was the one who gave the Vedas to Brahma, right? So we have seen that story earlier. We look at it again in detail. So Vedan Vaktri, one who is the one who has given the Vedas. That is the third phrase. So this Hayagriva, okay? So his Murti, that Murti has to shine forth for him. So that is what we're looking at in this second half. Okay. Me Bhatu. So that particular form, Murtihi, that form, Me Bhatu, to me, Bhatu, let it shine forth. So which Murti? Vasudevasya Murti. That Murti of Bhagavan Vasudeva. And what is it Vasudevasya Murti look like? What is it? It is Vaji Vaktra. So Vaji is horse. Vaji is horse. Vaktra. Here Vaktram refers to face. So whose face is like that of a horse. So Vaji Vaktra. Vagisha Akya. And what is it known as? It is known as Vagisha. So Vag Isha, one who is the the god of speech or the controller of speech or ruler of speech. And he is known as Vagisha. So Vagisha iti akhya yasyaha sa Vagishakhya. Okay. So Vagishakhya, one who is known as the controller of speech. So that Vasudevasya Murti, that form of Vasudeva, whose face is like that of a horse, let that form shine forth in front of me. So this is the prayer that we are looking at. So an interesting point to note here is Murtihi, this word Murti in Sanskrit, it's a feminine form. It is a feminine, it's used to the feminine gender. So we find that all the words that are used to describe this form are all in the feminine gender. Okay. So we say Antarnishayaha Kachit Prachi Sandhya, the Sandhya Kala, right? So that is also in feminine, given as a feminine gender. Pragya Drishtehe Apurva Anjana Shrihi, that is also given in feminine gender. Vedan Vaktri, okay, so here again feminine gender is used. Vagisha Akhya, again feminine gender. Vaji Vaktra, also again feminine gender is used. Vasudevasya Murti, that form, let that form shine forth in front of me. So this is the word by word meaning that we have. Now we will look at the detailed meaning of this. So what we are basically asking for here is that the form of the horse-faced Bhagavan, Hayagriva, who is known as the god of speech, who is a unique incarnation of Bhagavan Vasudeva, the supreme Brahman, let that form of this Bhagavan Hayagriva shine in front of me. Right? So this is the basic prayer. Vagishakhya Vasudevasya Murtihi me bhatu, or Vajivaktra Vagishakhya Vasudevasya Murtihi me bhatu. This is the essence, or this is the primary part of this particular shloka. So let the form of the horse-faced Bhagavan Hayagriva, Vajivaktra, who is known as the god of speech, Vagishakhya, who is a unique incarnation of Bhagavan Vasudeva, Vasudevasya Murtihi, right? Vasudeva, the supreme Brahman, may bhatu, shine in front of me. That's what we're asking for. So let him shine in me as he is the morning sandhya, dawn, that dispels the inner darkness. So prachi sandhya kachid antarnishayaha. So this phrase is what we are looking at now. Why do you want him to shine in me? Because I want him to remove my inner darkness, right? And he is the morning sandhya. So, and he is a kachid antarnishayaha prachi sandhya. He's a very unique sandhya, unique morning, unique dawn, which can dispel the inner darkness or ajnana. So he is a remover of ajnana because he is a jnana pradata. He gives us jnana. So therefore he removes ajnana. That is the first part. And he is a very unique, hitherto unknown collyrium. He is a apurva anjanashri. So apurva means we haven't seen something like this before. Hitherto unknown collyrium that helps to reveal divine knowledge. Okay. He is the one who revealed the Vedas again to Brahmadeva so that he could continue with this assigned task of creation. Vaktri Vedan. Vedan Vaktri. He was the one who revealed the Vedas again to Brahmadeva. Right? So this is, therefore, let that Bhagavan, let that Vasudevasya Murti, let that Bhagavan's form appear before me. That is the prayer here. So in a sense, this is a prayer for Bhagavat Sakshatkara. We want that form to appear in front of us, right? In our inner heart. So it is what we call as Darshana Samana Manasa Sakshatkara. So often we find this term in our, when we try to understand our philosophy, right? So we want Darshana Samanakara. So Darshana is what we are able to see with our eyes, right? So similar to the way we see with our eyes, we want a Manasa Sakshatkara. We want that kind of an image in our mind, in our heart. So we want him to appear just as we would see him, with our eyes. So that is how we want, not a fuzzy appearance, but a very clear appearance is what we are praying for. That's what we are asking. Okay. Now, what is also very important here is, now this shloka also emphasizes that Vagishakhya Vajivaktra, right? This Bhagavan, who is the Lord of speech and who is this horse-faced Bhagavan, is Vasudevasya Murti. He is an incarnation of Sriman Narayana, of Vasudeva, Sriman Narayana. Okay. Now this term Vasudeva, Vasudeva is often used to refer to Sriman Narayana, right? So when it refers to Vasudeva, right, when it refers to Sriman Narayana, when you use the term Vasudeva, it's interesting to note that this term Vasudeva indicates one who is pervading everywhere, one who exists everywhere. Okay. So in Vishnu Purana, we have a shloka which gives us kind of a definition for this term Vasudeva. Sarvatra asau samastam cha vasatyatreti vayyakaha tatassa vasudeveti vidvadbhi paripathyate. Sarvatra asau, he is everywhere and in everything he resides. For that reason, he is called as Vasudeva. By all Vidwans, is referred to as Vasudeva because he resides everywhere. So it tells us that he is omnipresent. He is everywhere, is inside and outside. Antar bahishcha tatsavam vyapya narayana sitaha is sarva vyapakatva. He is everywhere. So this is so Vasudeva refers to the fact that this is Sriman Narayana's Sakshat Avatara. Okay? And when does this Avatara take place? Okay. Now we had a discussion on this in the very first class itself, but we also had a few questions on it. So I think this is the right time to also address that particular aspect. Okay? So now, talking about Hayagriva Avatara. Now, if we look at our scriptures, there are a few places, in fact, many places where the Hayagriva Avatara is discussed. But we find that there are some differences in the accounts that are given. Okay, so we'll just look at a few of them and try to understand it in a holistic sense. In Mahabharata and Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that there are some references. In Mahabharata, there is quite a big description, almost an entire adhyaya. In fact, there are two adhyayas which talk about this, the related incidents. Okay. So Hayagrivopakhyanam, okay, which is there in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. So that talks about this Hayagriva avatar. Okay. So we'll just take a brief look at what is said in that. It is very similar to the popular account that we have, the story that we have. That is, as soon as Bhagavan was, after Pralaya, then Bhagavan decided that creation has to happen. So he was lying on the waters, and from his navel sprung forth a lotus in which Brahma appeared. So now, and Bhagavan, Brahma prays to him, and Bhagavan tells him to start creation. So he gives him the jnanam to start creation. So at that time, and what Brahma does is, using his sattva guna, being seated in sattva guna, he starts the creation with the help of by understanding the Vedas. So this is what happens. Around that time, already there are 2 drops of water which are there in the leaf of the lotus. Okay, of the lotus that is created. On the leaf, there are 2 drops of water which have already been created by Bhagavan only, which represent 2 gunas, the Rajo guna and the Tamo guna. Okay. So we're talking about 3 gunas, right? Sattva guna, Rajo guna, and Tamo guna. So these 2 drops of water, basically representing Tamo guna and Rajo guna, they take the form of 2 demons, right? Who are Madhu and Kaitaba. So this Madhu and Kaitaba, so now they are Rajo guna and Tamo guna, right? So they want to suppress the Sattva guna. So that's the idea. So what are they doing? They are looking around. They are seeing that there is a lotus. And so they go up the stalk of the lotus and find that there's Brahma seated on this lotus. And he is doing something with jnana, and doing something with the Sattva guna, right? So what they do is, and so the Vedas, Brahma there is looking at the Vedas. He's, starting his creation based on those Vedas. So he is trying to understand the Vedas and he's creating based on them. So they take away that knowledge from him. So they take away that Vedas. So that is what we mean by saying they steal that Vedas and they go to Rasatala. They hide it over there. So immediately Brahma is unable to do his job of creation. So he starts, worrying, so what will I do? How can I continue with my creation? I've lost all my knowledge and so on. At that time, it suddenly appears to him, it just, occurs to him that he should pray to Lord Narayana. So he prays to Lord Narayana at that time. Okay? And then saying that you are the one who has to help me. So then at that time, Narayana appears as Hayagriva and he goes searching for Madhu and Kaitaba. He goes to Rasatala. And what he does there is he does not destroy them right there. So he makes a sound. Since his Halahala Shabdam is basically Samaveda, he creates a beautiful Samagana. And this Madhu and Kaitaba, here the Samagana, they're wondering what this is and where it is coming from. And they come in search of the Samagana. So at that time, Vishnu goes to the place where the Vedas are there. He takes them and brings them back. And he comes to Brahma and gives it back to Brahma and gives the Upadesha of the Vedas again to Brahma so that Brahma can continue with his creation. Meanwhile, our Madhu and Kaitaba, they are, they are going searching for the for somebody who made that very beautiful sound, right? So they don't find it there. They come back and they find that what they have stolen is also being lost. So they now come searching for it. And when they come searching for it, they find that again there is this huge Bhagavan lying on these huge waters. And they say, oh, he must be the one who has taken this. And so they come and make a lot of noise. Okay. So at that time, Hayagriva Bhagavan, Vishnu Bhagavan, he comes up and he destroys them. So this is when they come for a fight with him, he destroys them is one account. This is the story. So from this we can understand that he is the avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu, who destroyed Madhu Kaitaba. So Madhu Kaitaba, what they actually indicate is they indicate the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, which is the one which is causing a delusion, which makes the Sattva Guna to be to subside, right? To be suppressed. So that is what we make. So this also answers the question as to, how can knowledge be stolen? Knowledge is not stolen, but when the Tamoguna and Rajoguna rise, it can cause the Jnana to be suppressed. So that is what we are saying over here. And yeah, so there's one more aspect that we can understand over here. We can also, to understand this part, we can take a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, rajaso lobha evacha, pramada moho tamasaha bhavataha ajnanam evacha. So he says this. So Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. So from Sattva Guna comes jnana. And from Rajo Guna comes lobha, greediness, and such characters. Pramada moho. That is, pramada is misunderstanding things. Moha is a confusion or an infatuation or an attraction that comes out of tamas, ajnanam evacha, and ajnana. All these come from tamoguna. So here, when there's a description of Madhu Kaitaba, Madhu is described as tamas, tamoguna, and Kaitaba is described as a rajoguna, as a depiction of rajoguna. So Madhu, something which is sweet, very soft, very pleasing. So it kind of does a moha, it kind of attracts you, and therefore any attraction or something else can distract you from what you need to do. So it distracts you from jnana. So it's a distracting force. So tamas is a distracting force. Similarly, rajoguna, kaitaba is a hard, very, it was kathina padartha, something which is hard. So that represents the rajoguna. So these gunas are, they prevent the sattva guna from coming forth. That is how we lose our knowledge. This is something that we can understand in our lives too, right? So whenever tamoguna, when we resort to things which are distracting us, it takes us away from our main point of view or our knowledge. So this is an important aspect to remember here. Okay. So this is one account. This is the most popular account of Hayagriva Bhagavan's avatara. There is also another account of Hayagriva of Madhu Kaitaba. They're not Hayagriva as such, of Madhu Kaitaba in Vanaparva of Mahabharata. So there, Madhu Kaitaba are given as, again, representing Rajoguna and Tamoguna, two demons, who steal the knowledge, who take away, who are not even just stealing about knowledge. What they do is, they come and attack Brahma, or they are kind of frightening Brahma, who is doing this creation, sitting on this lotus. So because of their whatever attack they are doing, Brahma begins to shiver. And so what happens is, because of the shivering, Lord Narayana, who is in Yoga Nidra, wakes up. And when he wakes up, so he looks at these two creatures who are very strong. So, and he says he knows that they are very strong people, difficult to destroy them. So he says, I will give you a boon. What boon do you want? But these two creatures, Madhu and Kaitaba, what they say is, we are very strong people, so we don't need a boon from you. We will give you a boon. Okay, so Bhagavan says, okay, so be it. I will take the boon from you. The boon that I ask is that you have to be killed by me. That you will have to be destroyed by me. So they realize that that what has happened. And they say, okay, so be it. But they put a condition that they should be destroyed in a place which has no covering. It does not just no some kind of a cover. So then Bhagavan looks at every place and then he puts them on his lap where there is, because he says his lap is something which is uncovered. So he puts them on his lap and he destroys them for them. So that is another account of Madhukaita Bhavata. So that is also something we find there. So in Bhagavatam also, there are 2-3 places where Ajnana, where Ajnana comes in the form of a demon, comes and takes away the Vedas. That is the Jnana. So in some places it is given that he comes in the form of Matsyavatara. So Matsyavatara is said to remove that, said to destroy the demon. So there's also an account that there is the name of the demon is Hayagriva. There's a demon named Hayagriva who is destroyed by Bhagavan in the form of Matsyavatara. So that is also a reference to that in that particular form. There's also another story that I've heard where in order to destroy the demon Hayagriva, who has stolen the Jnana, Bhagavan also appears in the form of Hayagriva as a horse and destroys him. So I'm not sure about the exact source of that particular incident, but that is also something which is kind of heard of. So in Prahlada Stuti, again, you have a reference to Hayagriva doing a Madhukaita Bhavata. So that is also there. So, so these are the many accounts of Hayagriva that we have. So I think this should kind of help us to understand the Hayagriva avatar. So now that is about the Vasudevasya Murtihi. So that particular word, right? Vajivaktra, Vagishakya, Vasudevasya Murti. And since he was the one who did all this for restoring knowledge, right? And he was Vak to give us the speech. So he is Vagishakya, Vasudevasya Murti, and Vajivaktra. Okay. So let this Bhagavan appear before us. So that is the word that we are looking at. And Bhagavan is, what are we looking at? We are saying, hey, Bhatu, let it shine forth in front of me. We want a vision of Bhagavan, right? Of Hayagriva Bhagavan. So Hayagriva Bhagavan's darshan we want to have, right? So that kind of a darshan, sakshatkara, will remove all our doubts. That was our goal, right? We want all our doubts to be removed. So here again, Bhagavan sakshatkara, right? That will help us to remove our doubts. This we have in Mundakopanishad also. We have this reference, right? Where we say, Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drishte Paravare. If you have the darshana of that Paravara, of that Parabrahma, all our Hridaya Granthi, whatever knots that we have in our hearts, whatever confusions we have will all be removed. All our doubts will be cleared. All our karma will be removed. So that is the kind of darshan that we are seeking for. All our doubts have to be removed. So that is another aspect. See, what we find is in Swami Deshika's Stotras, he uses words here and there which point to certain very interesting aspects which are there in our Shrutis and in our Upanishads. So those are also something that we need to look at. So Vedan Vaktri, Bhatume Vajivaktra, Vagishakya Vasudevasya Murti. We have kind of understood the inner meaning of these terms here. Now we come to Prachi Sandhya Kachid Antarnishayaha and Prajna Drishte Anjashri Apurva. Prajna Drishti. So let's look at this Prajna Drishti. So we are looking for Drishti. We want a particular insight. What kind of insight we want? We want Prajna Drishti, knowledge, insight of knowledge. So what is the kind of knowledge we are looking at over here? So Prajna, it's not ordinary knowledge, it's very special knowledge, right? So in Vishishtadvaita, right, we talk about Buddhi, knowledge as, or Jnanam as something which has to be understood in, for anything to be achieved. We talk about something called Tattva, Hita and Purushartha. Okay? So Tattva is the concept, okay, or the subject matter that you can look at. Purushartha is the goal based on that subject matter, on that concept. And Hita is the path in order to attain that particular Purushartha, that particular goal. Okay. So in Vishishtadvaita, right, what is our Tattva? Our Tattva basically is Ishvara Tattva. What is that Ishvara Tattva? Is Chit Achit Vishishta Ishvara. That is, we have Ishvara, Bhagavan, who is Chit Achit Vishishta. He has the sentient and non-sentient beings as his qualifiers. He is the qualified, right? He is the Ishvara who is qualified by these two. So there is a inseparable connection between all the Chit Achit Padartha and Bhagavan Ishvara. This is the Tattva. So the Hita, and what is our Purushartha? Our Purushartha is to understand this kind of a Bhagavan, to obtain this kind of a, to go to this kind of a Bhagavan. What do we mean by going to this kind of a Bhagavan? To Kainkarya. So Kainkarya Anubhavam is what we want to do for this Bhagavan, because that is our relationship between us and Bhagavan. Okay. And what is the upaya for this? What is the way for this? The Hita. The Hita is bhakti or prapatti. We do through devotion or surrender, we have to reach him. So this kind of pragya, this kind of knowledge is what is being sought after over here. So for this pragya drishti, he is Apurva Anjanashri. Okay, this is again very beautiful. Anjanashri is a very beautiful term that is used. So this Anjana, okay, this kajal or mai that we say, right? So this is normally, we say that it is used to identify hidden wealth, which means it is there, but you don't see it. It's kind of hidden. So you need a little bit of something to open up that for you. So similarly, all our knowledge, it's all there. We don't see it, right? So we need Bhagavan's help to remove that whatever ajnana which is there, so that we are able to see that jnana, to get that jnana. That is one interesting aspect. Another thing we are using word is Anjana Shri. Okay, it's not just an ordinary Anjana. It's Anjana Shri. It's a wealth. It's a wealth of knowledge. That kind of an Anjana that we are looking at. So it's something which is very unique. Why is it Apurva? Why is it unique? It is unique because, it is so unique that it is, okay, one is this Anjana. This is Hayagriva Bhagavan, right? What is his Murti? We have already seen he is Shuddha Spatikamani. He is white in color. Now, normally Anjana is black, right? The collyrium uses black, but this is a white Anjana. So it's an Apurva Anjana. It's a very different Anjana, a very novel one. And it is, so it's a very different one in that sense. So normally something which is black, now, but whereas in this case, it is a white Anjana. So it's an Apurva Anjana. That also you can look at it. Okay, that is one aspect. Now coming to this first phrase, Prachi Sandhya Kachid Antarnishayaha. Antarnisha, okay, of the inner darkness, it is a Prachi Sandhya. So we already mentioned about this Prachi Sandhya, right? So Prachi Sandhya is Kachid Prachi Sandhya. Again, we are saying it's a very unique Prachi Sandhya. It's not the normal Sandhya Kala, not the normal dawn that you have, but it's a very unique dawn. Why is it unique? Now, the morning dawn, normally when you refer to this dawn, which removes the darkness of the night and produces and gives us the light of the day, this happens only at that particular time, right? In the morning. So there's a time that is associated with this. Whereas for our Bhagavan to give us this knowledge, to remove the inner darkness, no required. He's beyond time. Okay. And we say Prachi Sandhya. There is a place associated with it. That this Sandhya Kala happens in the east direction. Whereas this Bhagavan's Sandhya Kala, Bhagavan's Bhagavan giving us the knowledge, need not happen only over there. It can happen anywhere. So again, it is a unique kind of a Sandhya Kala, which is beyond space, which is beyond time. Okay. So that kind of a Sandhya Kala, not only in the east, right, and not only in the morning, anytime, anywhere, that knowledge can come to us. So that is the knowledge that we are seeking from Bhagavan. So with that, so this kind of, that Bhagavan, who can give us that kind of knowledge? So that form of him, let that appear in front of me, is the prayer that we have in this particular shloka. Okay. So there's very beautiful use of these terms, which give us some very deep meanings. So this Apurva, because Kachit, it is like something. Normally that's a word, that's the way we would look at it. But here this Kachit, it's not just something, but it's something very special. It's a very unique thing. Okay, so this Antarnishayaha Prachi Sandhya, this one which removes this Antarnisha that we have is Ajnana. Okay, so Ajnana Nisha, Ajnana darkness, that has to be removed by only this Bhagavan. So that is why we pray that this Hayagriva Swarupa should appear in front of me. That's our prayer here. Okay. So, yeah. So let me just, so this Anjana Shri, that's a very unique concept that is used here. Prachi Sandhya is another very unique concept that is used. And of course, Vasudevasya Murti. So he is Vasudeva. He is all pervading. So that Murti, so that obviously refers to Sriman Narayana or the Supreme Brahman. And that Bhagavan in the form of Vajivakta. So as a horse-faced one. So this tells us that Hayagriva Bhagavan is a very unique avatar of Sriman Narayana. In fact, considered to be one of the first avatars. Right. So that is how we are appealing to Bhagavan to give us his darshana. Okay. So let me repeat the shloka again. Prachi sandhya kachid antarnishayaha pragyadrishtehe anjana shrirapurva vaktri vedan dhatume vajivaktra vagishakya vasudevasya murti. Okay. So this is the shloka that we have here. Okay. Let me see if there are some questions. We look at the questions here and also try to answer them. Okay. One of the questions is, could you repeat the metaphor for each Veda? Just answer that. So we said Samahara Samnam, Pratipadam Richam, and Dhama Yajusham, right? Samnam Samahara. So Sama is the summary. We said that Samaveda deals with, the metaphor we given there was, Rigveda deals with Jnana, Samaveda deals with Upasana, and Yajurveda deals with Kriya, for the performance of the Vedic rituals. So, which is why we say that he is the summary of the Sama, Pratipadam, every word of the Rig Veda, Jnana, right? So, every word of the meaning of every word of the Rig Veda, that Jnana comes through. And he is the abode of Yajurveda. So, because it refers to the performance of all the rituals, deals with Kriya. So, that is the metaphor that is used over there. Vaktri is, okay. There's the next question, says Vaktri is in feminine because it refers to Murti. Yes, because it was referring to Murti. So Vasudevasya Murtihi. So there we are saying we are referring to, that's why I said all the adjectives there, because they're referring to Murti, are all given in feminine. That's why you say Vaktri. But that is why Vaktri is used instead of Vakta. Okay, so that is the, I answered two questions with that. Somebody said, why not Vakta? It is Vaktri because it is given in the feminine form. That's a very unique, again, description that we can see here. Okay. There is also a mention, somebody has said, there's also the destroying of Madhukaitabha in the Devi Mahatyam. Yes, I forgot to mention that. Yes, there is also an account of Madhukaitabhavada in Devi Mahatyam also. So there again, this aspect of giving boon and Vishnu using that boon to destroy them, I think is discussed there also. So that also has this particular. What about Lalita Sahasranama? There is a mention about a conversation between Hayagriva and sage Agastya. Yes, that is there. But I do not know if that talks about the Hayagriva Avatara. So that we may have to dig a little deeper to find out exactly what is the connection there. Yeah, so the question again there is, in this shloka, Hayagriva Bhagavan seems to be referred to in Srilinga, Sandhya, Anjana Shri, Vaktri, etc. because we are referring to Vasudevasya Murtihi. So Murtihi is Srilinga form. So all the adjectives are referring to that Murti, so they're all taking the Srilinga form. So that is the answer for that. I think 3 or 4 people have asked a similar question. Okay. Vaktri used, I have answered that. Okay. Another question which says, is Kachit used to describe the uniqueness of Sandhya? Have I understood it right? Yes. Kachit Sandhya. Yes, it is a very unique Sandhya. Okay. So that is right. You have understood it correctly. It refers to the uniqueness. That is why it is Vilakshana, we say, right? So it is Vilakshana. It's very unique. So that's the Kachit over there. Okay. Kachit done. In the course page also, there is no English version for the shlokas. Okay, we'll make sure that the English version is given in the course page. We will try to add that. Sorry, that has not been done. We will definitely try to do that. I think that answers the questions. So now, just some logistics and administrative aspect. I have in the chat, I had shared a link that you can use to join the WhatsApp group. So the way we thought we will work with the WhatsApp group is, right, initially it will of course be admin Zoli can post messages. But we said we will open up the WhatsApp group for a couple of days. Maybe, Saturday evening we will open it up. And once we open up, maybe Saturday evening we will open it up and keep it open for questions and discussions on Sunday and Monday perhaps, and we close it on Monday. Okay. So what I would do is, if there are any questions on grammar, I would prefer to answer it in the WhatsApp group, or maybe I can give some notes on the grammar. Because we are not discussing grammar in this class as in the live session as such. I'll give it in the so all questions which are related to grammar, as you have seen, I have not answered so far. I'll answer them in the group. Give the shloka address of Bhagavad Gita shloka. I think it is 14th adhyaya, 17th shloka. 1417 is the shloka that I mentioned. Yeah, refer to that. Can the WhatsApp link be shared again, please? Okay, I will do that. It is already there. Type it again. Yeah, I have given it again. You may copy it. Share the webinar chat, open for all. Everyone can pick it up from there. Okay. Chat is open to all, so you must be able to see this, Bhagini. It is open to hosts and panelists, so you must be able to see that link. Otherwise, I'll see what can be done in terms of how to make it available otherwise also. Okay. So there are a few people have raised hands. Varadakshi, maybe you can talk. You can unmute and talk if you have a question.
I didn't get the WhatsApp number, so I wasn't able to get the number here.
Yeah, it's a link that's been given, so you can just take it from that link.
It's not available in the chat also.
I have shared it. I'll check. We will otherwise make it available through some other means. Maybe in the course page or something, we'll put it. And
I'm sorry, I have not raised my hand anyway. I don't know how it appeared.
Okay, it showed as raised, so I just Arun Kumar Tangavel.
Yes, madam. Inga Pranya Drishtehe Apurva Anjana Shrihi in the varila Pranya consciousness ஞானம்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம் இல்லையா?
ஞானம், yeah.
அதே மாதிரி அஞ்சன ஸ்ரீஹி அது அஞ்சனா ஸ்ரீஹியோட ஒப்பிடுறாங்களா இல்ல ஸ்ரீஹியே அஞ்சனாவோட ஒப்பிடுறாங்களா?
Anjana eva Shrihi. That Anjana itself is a sampat. It's a wealth.
Aishwaryam, Lakshmi,
yes,
Saubhagyam, Subham,
yes,
இதெல்லாம்
yes.
மீனிங் வரும். ஓகே.
Yeah. Jyotirmayi.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah. For me, the discussion is not activated, so I can't see the WhatsApp group.
Okay, we will make it available. I don't know what is the
I don't.
difficulty, but I'll make it available. I have actually put it on the chat.
Yeah, but the chat for me, when I want to open, it said it's closed. So I don't know. Maybe my computer has a problem. I don't know.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'll check it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay, so a lot of messages which are all saying that they cannot see the link. I will try to make that. I'll see what can be done about it. I do not know why the chat is disabled for all of you, because for me it says it's available for you to see. I'll check and let you know. Maybe I'm not. Sorry, I will check out and tell you what's to be done. Okay. So yeah, so somebody has said, can we just repeat the shloka? Okay, so I will do that from next class onwards. I will repeat the shloka 2 times. I mean, every line I will repeat 2 times so that you can, kind of repeat it for yourself so that you will get the pronunciation correctly. Okay. So now we stop with this Prachi Sandhya shloka, and I will just recite this alone, and then we will stop the today's session. Dhanyavada. Prachi Sandhya Antarnishayaha प्राची संध्या काचिदन्तर्निशायाः प्रज्ञादृष्टेरञ्जनश्रीरपूर्वा प्रज्ञादृष्टेरञ्जनश्रीरपूर्वा वक्त्रीवेदान् घातुमे वाजिवक्त्रा वक्त्रीवेदान् घातुमे वाजिवक्त्रा वागीशाख्या वासुदेवस्य मूर्तिः वागीशाख्या वासुदेवस्य मूर्तिः श्लोकम् कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः धन्यवादाः. Thank you. Thanks to all.